We're doing this series on how to build a network, and we talked in part one about the why. You know, it's more about a mindset. It's all about relationships, and we got into a little bit of the nitty gritty. But in this part, I want to get into a little bit more of the how, I guess. And so let's just jump right into it. The first thing I would say is you need to show up where your people that you want to build a relationship with are. Okay, so we go back to who should you be building a relationship with? It's all kinds of stakeholders. It's buyers, it's influencers to your buyer, it's referral partners, vendors.
Yeah, it could be other professionals, say attorneys. You know, if you're customers like you, business owners. Well, so, I mean, they're going to have attorneys.
Right. So I would put all those people that are influential to your buyer, you know, but don't work for your buyer, in the referral partner or strategic partner or affiliate category. And you're going to have all the people that are naturally going to have an audience with your buyer that can influence them. And they have lots of people that they talk to that can refer you in through. So a wide network of attorneys, CPAs, you know, anybody who has a trusted audience with your buyer.
Over the years, there was a friend, commercial realtor. He got so many great leads from the postman.
Mm-hmm. Well, he knows everybody.
Yeah, because he's up and down and knows, okay, this property's being dilapidated. Yeah. He's not taking care of that. Nobody was there. And so it wasn't that they were getting specific information on an individual, just like
signs.
Oh, this house is empty.
Yeah. And you didn't have to drive around. I mean, that's ingenious. I love it. So show up where the people are. So first, know who it is that you need to be in front of. You know, who are your buyers, who are your referral partners, and then, you know, spend some time figuring out where do these people congregate. Where do they congregate online? Where do they congregate in person?
Mm-hmm. And as you get referrals in, you really got to ask, how'd you hear about me?
Yeah, that's how you're going to find out.
You know, for the first 5, if 4 of them were from this area, well, now you know where to concentrate your efforts.
That's right. Yeah. For me, I recently found out about an organization called growflorida.com. And they're all about, it's sort of like SBDC for small businesses, but they're all about the second stage, which is where I play. Mm-hmm. So it's a great, good platform for me to go and engage in, because if I care about building relationships with partners and buyers, they're going to be there to a large degree, you know, in person in the Central Florida area. So for me, I got to be there, right?
Oh yeah.
So the next point is, you have to engage in those places, make your encounters more authentic and genuine. So this gets to the practical relationship building, right? So, okay, I know who it is, and I know where they're gonna end up. This is what I love about B2B, by the way. B2C is like, pull your hair out, because like you don't even know where they are and what they're doing. But B2B is like, I can get a list of everybody who's going to be at the event to whatever degree. Mm-hmm. Now I show up at the event armed with knowledge. Not that I'm going to go in and sell them, but I'm going to go in and add value. So engaging, meaning I want to do it on one-to-one, whoever I'm sitting next to, whoever I'm shaking hands with, I'm meeting. But I want to get involved in the organization. I want to get involved on a slightly bigger, like a cohort or a pod. I want to try to speak, you know, to add value. I want to be a part of any of the events they have going on to add value and get involved. Yep. And then I want to host my own events. I want to have a dinner and invite people that I've met there. This is a long burn.
Correct. You know, too, and I think the individuals over the years that they'll sign up for Rotary in the area. If you go into Rotary just in intent to sale, go in there and serve, and enjoy it and serve them. Yes.
That's the
service point. First. Yeah. Be that.
Yes. That's a good way to kind of, put a cherry on top of what we were talking about in part 1 is service first.
Mm-hmm. Right? Well, that is
service
the Rotarian way. That is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, they're good, and they it's good that they have kind of that philosophy.
It is, because it's for the community.
Because they do serve, like actually serve, but that philosophy should be adopted by business owners if they want to grow. And when I say that, like grow actual quality prospects, quality buyers that are not only going to buy from you, but probably buy from you for a long time.
Correct.
That's what we're talking about here. Not just people that are going to be one and done are going to help you hit your sales number. There are all kinds of hacks and
to me,
things to do for that.
To me, that is the best method of growing your business, because the other method is just spending money on advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of extra spend over time, if that's your only way of growing your business is that type of advertising, then you're going to have to build in so much extra cost into your product, and you have to sell more.
Yeah, it's a cost of acquisition. Mm-hmm. And there's a cost of your time to be involved in, and it does take
but it amplifies over time.
Correct. And I would say that, if you know who you need to be in front of to build relationships, some of these different categories, you know where they congregate, and you make it a priority to put yourself in those places, online or in person. And then you get engaged because you actually want to serve and add value in these places. The next step would be to do the hard work of connecting with the individuals. So you're going to identify, let's just give it a timeline of 18 months or 2 years to be generous, because I think things can happen shorter time frame, but realistically, let's say 2 years. You're going to go about building relationships, not necessarily building your business, over the 2 years. And you're prioritizing building a network of people that you've identified. You go to these places, you get involved, you're there to add value, you're not there to sell. Naturally, stuff is going to start to come to you. People are going to start to congregate towards you by email, by phone, in person. You're going to start to actually know people, and you're going to maybe play golf with somebody or do something. And what's funny is a lot of personal relationships come out of these work relationships, because you meet people that are like,
you've got something in common already.
Right. But then at that point, I think to your question about, how much time should you dedicate this every day? I think that you can mechanize this so that it fits in a routine. I think there are parts of relationship building that can fit in a routine and make it more efficient. But I think for it to be the most effective, it is not necessarily mechanized. It's more about this mindset of long-term, of actually caring about the individual. So these individuals that start to come out, they may be buyers, referral partners. You put yourself in the right room, everybody is going to lead to something. These people come out. Now it's about sharing work life and sometimes life with those people intentionally. So sending an email with a link to a article that you read that will add value to that person. Yeah. And it's just a one-off email. Hey, Susan, I saw, hey, we've been talking and I know what you do. I saw that this came up and I thought that you'd probably really like this. And if they really would, they get it, they like it. That's called relationship building. Yes. But that's hard work, because you have to take the time out of your day to be intentional about individuals. But when you start doing that, I think that's what starts to have the amplification, because those people, whether they may not buy from you, they're going to now start to talk about you.
Yes.
Right. And again, you're serving first. You're not going to get them to talk about you. Because as enterprising capitalistic Americans, we want to say, well, how do we do this to get this? Right. We want to make money. We want to build a business or whatever. You can't look at the effect and say, I'm going to do this to get this. You have to forget about the effect and just do what's right.
Yeah.
And the effect will be greater than you could have tried to put in as a return.
Correct.
Always will be. And everybody that I'm sure is watching this knows, this is a human type of thing we're talking about here. This is not like some thing you teach in Ivy League.
As you're talking, and there's people that I know we know in common they're just, serial salespeople, but they develop new relationships and they burn them so quickly. Mm-hmm. And because they're really not out in value, they're just wanting that sale. Funny is, and I just look at that and I'm like, Holly, you're going to have to work that grind your whole career.
Starting over from scratch.
Until you retire, you're starting from over scratch. And then you're rough and you're always wondering why people aren't referring back to you, because you're disingenuous.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not serving.
Well, and
you act like you are, but you're not.
What's funny is they're going to have an effect too. Mm-hmm. There's an effect to that action, cause and effect. And that effect is people are going to talk about them too. And they're going to start to
talk in a negative way. Yes.
Hey, I saw you met so-and-so, just so you know, probably going to try to sell you. You've talked to people like that. Like that is not.
I've had over
you
years.
do not want that going in front.
What do you do? Banking, and they're just immediately think that they're gonna. Oh, I'm happy with my bank. Yeah. That's fantastic.
That's great, actually.
Yeah.
So. All right. One more point to close out part 2, and this is a huge one. If you want to, you've done you're the person you're in front of. You're at the places. You've engaged with the place. Mm-hmm. And then you've started to connect with individuals. The next step is to start to create a new space that you can invite those people into. So that can be, intimate dinners, hosting your own type of events, workshops, whatever. But it also can be a podcast. It can also be a place where that's scalable, that you're like, hey, I actually think I have people have said I have a lot of value to give, and I just want to give that value for free. It's a lot of what we're doing here. And you start to build a network that is almost invisible. I get people that, because I have my own podcast, I get people all the time that say, hey, I love listening to your podcast. I'm like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
Like,
that's awesome.
Great. And it's like, people are listening and people are getting value. So it's working. Like, what I'm trying to do is not trying to get new sales. I'm trying to build relationships.
I see a lot now of people saying, well, I'm having a round table. I'm getting groups of leaders into this. And, that's great.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of those that do add value, and they're working on building that network and value.
The point there is to be a host, right? Host something to where you're bringing people together in whatever way that makes the most sense to you and the people that you're bringing together.